So I got this Viking drinking horn for Christmas a few years ago, and we like when we saw this movie, like they played the trailer for Top Gun Maverick, and I tell my friend I was like, I feel the need for mead. All right, puns aside, it's TVB, and I just got back from seeing The Northman. It's directed by Robert Eggers and stars Alexander Skarsgård, Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Willem Dafoe, and some other cool people. As Alexander Skarsgård plays Prince Amleth, who he's a boy grown up to be a man, but one fateful day his uncle kills his father, and he grows up and becomes a Viking and says like, "Oh, I will avenge you, father. I will find you, mother, and I will kill you, Fjolnir." Oh, that's gonna be stuck in my head for a while. Like many people, I was very excited for The Northman. Trailers just made this movie look so like kick-ass with Alexander Skarsgård, going on his revenge story and just like hacking and slashing his way through like armies of like other Vikings. The trailers though can be a little deceiving in the sense where this movie is it's very brutal, it's very violent, and the action scenes like there's beautifully shot and brutally choreographed, but they're kind of few and far between in the sense where it's not just like one village being like demolished after the next. There's time in between action scenes, but like that's and this movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes, and it is like slower paced than you'd probably think it is, which I think works in the film's favor because we it establishes more of the characters and the world and how it ties in. Like, hey, this is not like it's not like a Norse mythology movie. There's a lot of like references to like the gods and the monsters that Vikings once believed. One scene in particular, there's a scene where the Alexander Skarsgård has this like vision. He has this like fight, and it's like, oh my goodness, Skyrim taught me so much. I had to take off my jacket because it's getting kind of toasty in here. But everything in this film was so on point. Robert Eggers as a director, he also directed The Lighthouse. That movie had insanely good cinematography, and the cinematography carries over to this as well. It's very beautifully shot. The visuals are on point. The real like locations they're in, and the CGI, and the score. Oh my gosh, the score in this film really you feel like you're there when whether it's like he's doing slave stuff, whether it's following the slaves or it's action scenes or someone's been murdered or whatever else, like you feel like you're there. And The Northman is more than a film, guys. It truly is an experience. And I gotta say, like, Alexander Skarsgård nailed performance, and so did Anya Taylor-Joy. She plays like the love interest for Alexander Skarsgård in this film, and this is probably my favorite performance from her. Like, I have not seen The Witch Does Another film, from the same director, but I heard Anya Taylor Joy is in that movie too, and I definitely want to watch The Witch now because she's nails the performance as like the slave, that they're working together, and they fall in love, and she's just gorgeous. Just the casting was just genius. Like Nicole Kidman's character especially. There's a lot of very unsavory characters that we're expected to root for, but again, this film again. It's set during the Viking era, and I think as centuries progress, we tend to like glamorize historical figures. Like we love Vikings, even though like people nowadays are just like, oh yeah, Vikings were so cool. Hey, look at my beard, dude, such a Viking look. Even though their whole thing was kill, rape, and pillage, like, just like one village after the next. Just like how we tend to glamorize like Sparta in movies like 300, like, oh yeah, the Spartans were so cool, even though like Sparta was basically like the fascist dictatorship of ancient Greece. These characters, they're not meant to be relatable, but that's what I like about it, is that it just feels so real. Like, if I were to take a time machine and go back to like, the 9th century AD to like Scandinavia and, look at Vikings, I was like, yeah, I could totally see them acting and behaving like this. The Northman is an experience that I don't see myself rewatching anytime soon, because this is not a movie that I can watch casually. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, you guys should totally go and see this film. But it's like it's so brutal and so intense, and yeah, everything about it was just so on point. But there's this whole like dark atmosphere that kind of just like lingers. Again, this isn't like like a legitimate issue with the movie. It's just like it really it wants the audience to feel a certain way, and it succeeds in that, but it succeeds in it in a way where like it almost succeeds too well in a weird sense. This movie is just loaded with testosterone, but not one of those like testosterone fueled movies where you can just like shove popcorn in your face and just like kick back and just like watch it with your friends. This is a movie where you gotta like strap yourself in and like it's not a confusing movie by any means, but it's just like it's a movie where you can't like if you're gonna rewatch The Northman, you need to be in a very specific mood to like rewatch it, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna end the review by saying this: The Northman is a beautifully made film with gorgeous direction and like awesome performances and brutal action scenes. That it's truly unique, and I don't see like a lot of other movies like topping the level that this film has achieved in terms of just like standing out from the rest of the crowd. So for that, Northman, guys, believe the hype of this film is received. I'm giving it for a 9 out of 10 stars. It's an awesome film. So tell me, my non-existent viewers, in the comments section, what is your favorite like Viking movie? Or it could be, you know, this. It could be freaking How to Train Your Dragon series. Like this is like the kind of movie where it's like, because of how dark and intense it is, you're gonna want to watch something a lot more lighthearted when you come home from the theater. That's probably what I'm gonna do on Hulu after this. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this movie, hit that thumbs up like button, please, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links in the description. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay beastly.